swear this shit feel special. I knew I was on different levels. OG told me never let another nigga out your dish. And if a nigga playing captain, the only thing you left to do is off with his best. Ain't nothing.
All right, Black and Unfiltered, we are back. What's happening? What's cracking? Y'all already know me, Mr. Famous Brand himself, Darnell Brown. And this is another BNU Famous Brand Business Spotlight, where we love to shine light on our fellow Black business owners and entrepreneurs. Hope everybody is having a blessed Sunday. Today, we have another beautiful marvel in the building with us today. Everybody, please help me welcome Delishia Felton, owner and founder of EvoLEEtion Natural Hair Studio. Ms. Felton, we appreciate you. How you doing today?
I am doing good. Thank you for having me.
Well, I definitely thank you for your time. I know time is money and time is everything, so definitely appreciate you. So just like we do with everybody on the show, we're going to give you the floor real quick to formally introduce yourself to everybody watching on a slightly personal level. So whatever information you wish to disclose is entirely up to you. And then once you finish the introduction, then we'll continue with the interview. So Ms. Felton, you have the floor.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Delishia Felton. I go by the name Miss Leelee. I am the proud owner of EvoLEEtion Natural Hair Studio, which is a salon here in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. I graduated 2012 from Elizabeth City State University with a bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in management. I have two wonderful children. I also was recently engaged in December, Christmas morning. Yay me. And that's about it.
All right. Well, congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success with your business and whatnot, which of course this is the primary reason for the interview. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Give us a history lesson on EvoLEEtion, how it got started, when it got started, things of that nature.
Well, I started it 2 years ago. Hair has been something that has been a part of me for as long as I can remember, as being as young as 8 years old. A lot of my older cousins did hair. A lot of family members did it, but it was nothing that I would do for other people other than family. So in October of 2017, I was working at the prison. And as everyone knows, the tragedy that happened there, we got arrested. So we lost a few people. But in that moment, I realized that job was not for me. So I will always go back to doing hair. Like that would be something quick for me to do to make some extra change. And then one day my fiance asked me, he was like, why don't you just do it full time? And I was like, well, that takes a lot of work, takes a lot of money. You got to have a clientele. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Just giving self-doubts at first. So I decided that I was going to go into work into a shop. I did that for about 2 years. I worked in another shop. And when the pandemic hit, they shut everybody down.
Sure.
So while I was home thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just start my own shop? Because it was some other things that I wanted to do. I just didn't want to do just hair, but I also wanted to educate individuals about their hair and educate them about the culture of our hair. So I decided, I'm gonna go for it. And that's exactly what I did. I was sitting on the phone with one of my cousins and we were trying to come up with a name. And I was like, I want people to understand that just because you're Black and your hair is hard to maintain for some individuals, that it's different levels to it, So we were sitting, we was talking, and she was like, well, why don't you put something in your name that creates elevation? And we was just sitting there thinking. I was like, She was like, EvoLEEtion, that nickname Leelee. She was like, because you always saying, you don't want nobody to take the name Leelee and because it has a bad narrative on it, Leelee. People say it's ghetto, but I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. So we took the name Lee, we put it in EvoLEEtion, and that's how I got the name. And then I went around Elizabeth City, as you know, it's small, to find the perfect spot for just me. I ended up finding a location. I did the floors, I did the painting, I put pretty much everything in there by myself. And I went from there. I decided to start promoting. It started off really, really slow, but I had a team around me that encouraged me every day to keep going and keep going. And here I am today with over 125 clients
Hey.
that I see on a regular basis. So yeah, that's how I got started. It was transitioning from one career to another. I wasn't happy with any of the jobs that I had. I wake up in the morning like, I don't want to do this. But now that I have, this, I'm in this, I'm just like, you know what? It don't matter if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't mind doing hair. It's something.
That's what's up, man. Well, like I said, once again, congratulations on your success, your progression, especially being in Elizabeth City, coming from Elizabeth City.
Yes.
We know how that can go. So congratulations, most definitely. Talk about your experience building up to what you do now.
I've learned that every stylist is different. You can't look at one stylist and say, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to do that, because everyone has their own way of doing things. I've learned that doing hair, everyone's hair is very, very different. When I say there's all types of textures, there's all types of textures. I realized that there's a fight, honestly, for Black women and Black men to even be natural. I've come aware of that. And what I mean by that is, in some states, in some areas, it's actually illegal it's legal for a job to deny you because of your hair being natural, or it's legal for them to say, you need to take that out of your head because I don't want it in if you're working for here, So I've learned that it's more than just doing hair. It's actually a fight for us to be able to embrace our naturalness. So I guess I've just been taking one foot forward and trying to make people aware of that, because you'll be surprised of how many instances I have kids that come and they'll be like, well, my teacher said my hair is inappropriate or it's distracting them. Or I even have parents that come back and ask to switch the child's hairstyle because the teacher has reached out to them, saying that the hairstyle that they have is distracting to them. So I've learned that in this day and time, it's more than just us wearing hair, and it's more than just styling hair. It comes with trying to encourage those to wear your natural hair, to let them know that everyone is different, and everyone isn't the same.
For sure. And that's definitely a fact. In regards to, people being denied a job because of, their hair. They might have dreadlocks, and a company might tell them you can't have that, you need to cut it, or
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah.
that's definitely real in our community.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask you is, and you kind of mentioned it earlier, but I kind of want you to get more in depth with it. Talk about the importance of hair in our culture. What it represents, what it means, because it's more than just, getting a haircut or getting a line up, or getting it done, and we just go about our day. Talk about the importance in your perspective.
Well, what a lot of people don't know, you can tell a lot about an individual by their hair. Far as health wise, that's one of the main things that I do focus on, and that has actually increased my clientele. You can tell if a person is sick. You can tell what they're lacking as far as vitamins and mineral wise. You can tell if they're not drinking enough water, or you can just tell what the body needs just from the hair and the scalp. Unlike our fellow brothers and sisters, because we all brothers and sisters in God's eyes, but their texture of hair compared to ours is very, very different.
For sure.
So it comes to trying to break the stereotype that our hair has to be straight in order to be pretty.
I like that.
that has been like a big thing with me. Um, when it comes to the history of our hair and us wearing braids and things of that nature, they don't I they don't understand that it's more than just us trying to keep it maintained, or just keep it out of the way. That it's a part of our culture.
Mhm.
If you go back into time, uh, and I know plenty of you seen it on Facebook, but that's how the slaves uh, kept maps, was
Mhm.
to braid the hair.
Right.
Um, that's where the term cornrows came from, because of the cornfields. Um, it's deeper than what people think.
Mhm.
In the sense of, it's our identity.
Mhm.
Growing up, I had always had a relaxer, and my mom used to tell me it was just easier for her to maintain, with it being straightened.
Mhm.
And so as I got older, I realized that the relaxer was causing headaches, or even if I'm cheering and I'm sweating, my scalp would start burning out of nowhere. So it was like I had to take a step back and do some research and say, hey, what am I going to do, because this isn't working.
Mhm.
So I decided that I'm gonna go natural. I went natural, and in the process of me doing that, I did a tons of research about it.
Mhm. Definitely appreciate that. And that was very, very enlightening. Um,
Yeah.
for our listeners, for myself as well. So I definitely appreciate your perspective on that. Um, talk about the process of actually getting your shop and getting your shop together.
Whew. First, the location was hard. There's over 27 shops in Elizabeth City.
Mhm.
So trying to find an area that you're not right there on top of another shop was like hard.
Mhm.
So I ended up finding a location that was perfect for me, and starting off, I'm not going to say I had a lot of money to start off, because I didn't. Um, so I ended up finding a location. In honesty, there is a shop beside me, um,
Mhm.
on both sides. And then beside the shop on the right hand side of me, there's a shop there. So
Oh
when I
shit.
moved in, at first it was just like, oh, what am I gonna do? It's other shops here, it's competition. But I kept putting one foot in front of the other. So once I was able to open up, the other shop owners ended up reaching out to me. We all got together, sat and talked, and we exchanged services of what we do and what we don't do.
Mhm.
So, and they're all Black owned. So now if someone
Right.
come in that little area that we're in and say, for instance, there's a style that I don't do, I
Mhm.
know one of those three people do it. So I'm gonna send them to them, and
That's
they
dope.
do it vice versa. Um, when I actually got in the shop, oh my goodness, I said I commend any shop owner, because the maintenance of the equipment, staying clean, the tools that you need, um, is hard work. Um, I did the floor by using like sticky towel, went to Lowe's and did that.
Mhm.
Um, I honestly use a piece of plywood to make stations. So I took the really cheap route of getting started. And if you was to walk into the shop, people will automatically assume, oh, she spent a lot of money on this. No, it was just hard work. It was just hard work. Um, After, I'm gonna say a year, I'm gonna say I finally got comfortable with having it, because I was so focused on what I didn't have, and I didn't pay attention to what I did have.
Mhm.
So the process, I can say from start to finish, was it was terrifying, but it was worth it. And I could tell anybody that's getting ready to open up a shop or a salon or whatever you getting ready to do, whatever business wise you getting ready to do, it's not going to be easy, but just don't give up.
Mhm. I like that. I like two things about what you said. One, appreciating what you do have as opposed to what you don't.
Hmm.
I think that's important, not just from a business aspect, but in life in general. And then also, I really like how you said that if it's a service or, you know, a style that you can't do or don't provide, that you refer them to, you know, the next shop that's beside you or things like that. And I think I really think that's very important, especially in our culture, in
Yeah.
Black business, because we as a culture have have a bad habit of being too competitive with one another.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Agree.
we speak about that a lot on Black and Unfiltered on the podcast. And it shouldn't be that way with us. You know, in order for us to overcome, we have to stick together, as
Yes.
opposed to being so competitive, being envious, being jealous of one another. So I'm real happy to hear that you do that. Um, talk about with EvoLEEtion, talk about the services and styles that you do and that you're able to do.
I'm gonna start off with one of my leading styles, which is box braids. I love doing individual braids. But one of my most important services is hair regrowth. I have a lot of older clients that are going through menopause, thyroid issues, high blood pressure, and the medications that doctors take, that give them and that they take, actually strips the hair. So me as their stylist, I will get a list of those medications and I go online and I look up to see exactly what those medications are taken from the body and see what we can put it back in. Like I said before, it you could tell by the scalp whether the person is healthy or what is lacking. So doing that, I'm able to find products for my clients to help them, you know, regrow their hair or thicken back up or whatever the case may be. Um, I do a lot of children. I love kids. I myself am tender-headed, and if you don't know what that means, it means that somebody is on your scalp. It hurts very bad. I'm 32 years old, and I will cry if somebody comb my hair too hard. So I have a lot of kids that are very, very sensitive in the scalp that they will fall asleep while I'm doing their hair. So I have a lot of kids that I style. One of my favorite services will be feed-ins. If you don't know what that is, it's braids that start off very small and go into like a larger braid. I enjoy doing those. Doesn't take much time to input, but the prep time could be like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many they get. I also offer services for people that transition. So if you're currently have a relax or a perm and you're trying to go natural, I assist in that because some people don't like doing the big chop. They rather keep the hair to where it grows into a decent length. So I enjoy doing that. They're now changing some things that natural hairstylists are able to do, far as the state board goes. So some services now, like the silk press and the hot comb, they don't want natural stylists doing. But that used to be one of my favorite ones to do, because the shrinkage be real, you know. It looks short, but when you press it out, it's gorgeous. And
Yeah.
that was something that I love to do. I love to see the transformation. The shampooing, like, I love that. That's like I don't let nobody come to me already pre-shampooed. I know most braiders, not talking down on anybody else, but me, my preference, I'd rather make sure the hair is completely clean. And then on top of that, like, it's just something about the shampoo, like just seeing the hair get cleansed at that bowl, it just does something to me. I spend almost 30 minutes to an hour shampooing somebody's hair. And every time they get in the chair, they be like, oh my goodness, I don't even need nothing else done, because that just felt so good. But yeah, I offer majority braids, sew-ins, silk presses, which is straightening of the hair. I used to do instant locks, but that is a very, very tedious service. So doing that was just a no. I don't do that at all. I don't do that service anymore. I recommend some folks to do it, but I don't do it myself. What else do I offer? That's about it. Locks, weaves, lace fronts. I offer that service, but I'm not too much of a big fan of it with the glue, only because I've had clients to come to me who has completely lost their hairline. Um, so I was with that. I think pretty soon I'm gonna have some classes coming with an install that's teach people how to do a glueless install or do one at home, because that can be here or there. I'm not too keen on that, but it's taken off in the natural hair world. We're trying to make people look bald to have a wig on, when I thought the ultimate goal was to make our hair healthy and grow strong. But I guess I'll save that for another day.
Fair enough. Shout out to who's that? Keisha Shantae.
Oh yes, that's my big sister.
Okay. We appreciate you listening, sweetheart. And then we
Thank
also
you.
had Joy Whitby. She said she did an amazing job. I think she was referring to the shop.
Oh, she's one of my clients. Hope she don't mind.
Okay.
She's one of my clients that, she's very, very open that I help regrow her hair.
Okay.
So she's thriving now. She loves it. I started her locks. Oh, I start locks as well. I don't say dreads because there's nothing dreadful about it. I tell people that is locks. Thank you, Joy. So yeah, I start locks too off.
Okay. All right. Well, shout out to you. You be doing the damn thing.
Yeah, I'll be trying.
I want to ask why Elizabeth City? Because I know, me knowing you, of course, I know at one point you lived in Greensboro.
Yeah.
And then, Elizabeth, we know about Elizabeth City. We from Elizabeth City. I know, or we know that Virginia is right down the street, amongst other neighboring cities and whatnot. So why Elizabeth City of all places?
Well, to be honest, Greensboro was just a lot for me. And my goal when I went was to go to Empire School of Beauty to get my cosmetology license.
Okay.
And upon the first 2 days, not to say anything bad about the school, but that just wasn't a fit for me. And then when I decided to come back home, like I said, I started working at the prison, but there's a lot of young girls, like as I grew up and we went to school together. Hair can be one of the things to either make a person's day or it can ruin a person's day. Elizabeth City, I love my city. It's a lot of young girls that are less fortunate. And I feel as though, being that I'm from here, I'm able to connect more with a lot of younger girls. I'm not going to call any of them out, but I have maybe I'm going to say anywhere from 5 to 10 young girls that I do their hair at free of charge, only because they're not able to get to those resources to do it, to pay for it, what I meant. And when it comes to our youth, I feel like if I grew up here and I know the surroundings, I feel like I can be more of a use in Elizabeth City than I would be in another city. I feel like I can help more. I have more resources to help me do what I need to do here. So, and then plus I got homesick being in Greensboro. I miss my mom and my daddy. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm a girl. I was ready to come back home and be up under them. So that's what I did. Yeah, I think it's a bigger fight when it comes to young girls accepting themselves of how they look and how their hair look. I can say when I was in high school, I kept my hair long and straight. And after a while, as I got older, I realized I did that because it made me more comfortable because of my peers. Because whenever I did come to school with something different in my hair, it was always a side eye, or why would you do that? Or what made you do that? So it's more so of trying to help young girls be more comfortable with themselves. And I think with my connection to Elizabeth City, and still talking with some of the teachers, I'm able to make a bigger impact here than I am somewhere else at the moment.
Okay, for sure. Well, definitely. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, me, I'm still in Greensboro. Planning on moving to Charlotte, but
Whew.
yeah. I mean, I honestly, I've been wanting to move to Charlotte since like high school. So, it's been a process, but we finally making those moves. But I mean, even so, with the Famous brand, I definitely want to do something for Elizabeth City. I just have to figure out exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it. More than likely, it's going to be in the field of like mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I got to figure out the details and get that together. Real quick, shout out to Tammy Sutton Spence. She said Leelee does an amazing job. I love her.
Yeah, that's my
So,
auntie.
yeah,
Listen, when I say, and most of the time when Black people start businesses, the people they get the most support from are outsiders. But I can honestly say that I am blessed that my family shows me tremendous support. Um, I have the godmother of my children, which is also my first cousin. She lives all the way in Raleigh, but she comes to get her hair done here in Elizabeth City faithfully.
nice.
As long with her sister, my aunt, who just seen, loves to come get her hair done, even though she tries to get styles that her hair is extremely long, and she loves to get styles that I'm like, okay, the hair is long, is shorter than your hair. What do you want me to do with this? But the support they give me is amazing. I couldn't complain about that at all. I receive a lot of support, and I think it makes a big difference on my confidence. It helps with my confidence a lot. It gives me the motivation to keep going.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, I can definitely agree. As far as like you said, starting a Black business, majority of the love and probably support you're gonna get is from outside as opposed to the people But I definitely always give credit to Elizabeth City because even when I come home, make my announcement that hey, I'm in town. Anybody want to place a dip order? I'm here.
Yeah,
They always support. So, and it's like I was telling Christian of Oyard Boys, the thing about Elizabeth City, granted, the bullshit that happens in Elizabeth City. If you're doing something positive, then Elizabeth City gonna back you up. So,
yeah, yeah,
um, definitely
most definitely.
proud and appreciate Elizabeth City for that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kenya Reed. She said I'm very proud of my beautiful daughter. So shout out to you. We appreciate you tuning in.
Yes. Now listen, her head was my canvas.
Okay.
You know, it didn't matter what it was. Can I do this real quick? I don't want to sit long. I don't want to sit long. But she said she made complain the whole time she was in my chair, but she let me do it. So shout out to her for letting me do that. You know what I'm saying? And when I made a decision of leaving, because at the prison you make a pretty penny. When I made the decision that I was gonna go from that to this full time, she had my back 100%.
For sure, man.
Her and along with my sister, because she had to be the one to watch my kids.
Fair enough, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. Real quick, we're gonna deviate from the business conversation. We're gonna integrate a little game real quick.
Okay,
So just simply call it the favorites game.
gotcha.
I'm gonna just ask you some random questions
Okay,
and we're just gonna go from there.
all right.
So favorite food.
Seafood, love it.
Okay, specific kind.
Um, spots, fish. It's
Okay,
the fish with a lot of bones, and blue crab, not the snow crab, but blue
okay,
crab. Those two together, I'm in heaven.
okay. You like fish with bones in it?
It has the best meat, and I tell anybody, anything that you have to work hard to get to is worth it. And I loved it. That and blue crab is like my ultimate favorite. I love those two.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Favorite rapper.
Ah, it's been a long time since I listened to rap music, so I don't know
Okay,
nobody current. But if I had to go back a little bit, Tupac.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Pot. Rest in peace.
I'm trying to
Favorite singer?
That's hard. Because I have a few, but if I had to put it in order, India Ari is my favorite singer. She
Okay.
sings from the soul. I love it. Anytime she put out anything, I just feel like it touches me in a different way.
Okay. Favorite color and why?
Black. Honest to God, black is my favorite color. I just feel like it doesn't matter what you match it up against, it goes. I feel like against our color skin, it just brings it out even more. I don't know, it just does something to me. Anything black, I'll buy. That's my favorite color. I love it. Even though it get linty, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So you got to keep a lint roller in your pocketbook
For
or
sure.
somewhere close. But black is my favorite color. I just feel like that color it just makes everything so crisp, clean, and pristine to me.
Okay. You watch sports?
No, I don't watch them all the time. But if you want to ask me what my favorite football team is, it's Dallas Cowboys. I'm say that loud and clear. I don't care what nobody got to say about it. Dallas Cowboys is my favorite team. I will always and forever be a Dallas fan.
Okay. I know a few Dallas fans. I can't really say nothing. I'm more of a basketball person myself, so can't really say nothing about that. But for sure, fair enough. But appreciate that. Appreciate the insight. Going back to the business and whatnot. What are some tips or tricks that you could give out to individuals in regards to like hairstyling or hair maintenance and whatnot?
The concept or the idea that water is bad for natural hair, getting products that start off with water, get that out of your head. I tell anybody that's natural, when is it easier for you to actually comb your hair or brush it? It's when it's wet. When we had relaxers in our hair, or when relaxers was the thing, you wanted to stay away from products that had water because it would actually strip the relaxer from your hair. But now that you're natural, you want as much hydration as possible to go into your hair. So that'll be tip number one. Water is like heaven to your hair. Drinking it and putting it up there is the best thing you can do. Another tip I would say, your hair isn't like the next person's. Stop comparing your hair to everyone else's. Just because a product worked for this person doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And when it comes to any product that you use, you need to give it at least 4 to 6 weeks before you see that it's doing anything. Using it for the first 3 days, your hair isn't going to get used to it. You have to, pretty much train your hair with whatever product that you're using. You have to give it some time to actually see a result. So if you find a product, I would say use it for at least 4 to 6 weeks and you should see a change. Clipping your ends when you're natural is a thing. If not every 4 to 6 weeks, please, every 6 weeks, you should be at least trimming your ends. If you're combing or brushing, however you detangle your hair, and it starts to pop at the end, you know that it's time for you to get your ends trimmed. I'm not sure about any other stylist, but for me, you don't have to straighten your hair to get your ends trimmed. Although you can see more of it, but if you keep it maintained, then clipping your ends while it's in its natural state can be done. And I do it all the time. Okay. So those are a few tips that I think people should take into consideration.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely appreciate it. Talk about what do you love or enjoy most about being an entrepreneur?
Time. I get to set my own schedule. I don't have to worry about missing events anymore that I really, really want to attend. The flexibility is just a wonderful thing to me. Like I used to say, tell people at jobs, it's like they just didn't value you as a human being. You go to work every day, you ask for a day off. They want to know why you need it, what you need it for, what are you going to be doing? Like, I signed up for this. You told me I get time off. Why I got to tell you all my business? Like, I love the fact now, if I don't want to work, I can just go on my little booking link, cancel out some days, go about my business. So the flexibility would be the best, I would say, as being an entrepreneur.
Okay, for sure. And I mean, I definitely agree as far as working for somebody else, and like you said, you got to request time off and give them a reason why, and this, that, and the third. And I mean, to be completely honest, part of the reason why I did the Famous brand, because like I've told my story, I was working at a job, had a good position within the company, and some shit happened, and I ended up losing my job on some bullshit. So that definitely motivated me to start the Famous brand, to build it up, to be able to work for myself. Of course, it's still a work in progress for me to be able to, do it full time, but at the end of the day, consistency is key. What advice would you give other entrepreneurs starting out, if they may be going through a drought, or just advice in general as far as entrepreneurs are concerned, up and coming entrepreneurs?
Um, First thing I would say is pray. Pray about it.
Amen.
Go to God to it first. Because sometimes you can want something so bad, and you can have a whole plan of how it should be done, but He can give you a way to where you don't run into too many obstacles to get it started. So that would be my first advice, is to pray about it. My second advice would be, don't be afraid to ask other people that are in that field. Sometimes people may be they don't want to give you any information, but if you pray about it, you'll either cross the right people in the right path, or when you do go to somebody, they'll be receptive to you asking. Don't get comfortable with just one idea of how you're going to start that business. Read, go online, heck, YouTube. Go to YouTube, look it up. It's plenty of websites. There's plenty of people that have put information online for you to be able to know whatever the field is that you're going into, or whatever you're getting ready to start. It's some things out there that give you some head start, give you a head start on what to do. Don't compare yourself to anybody else.
Definitely.
That can keep you from, one, it can keep you from starting, or two, it can put you in debt. And when I say that, is if you're looking at what this person have, and you like, well, I can't open because this and this got this, or this and this got that. You can't do that. Stay focused on what you want. And when you do start, don't listen to the naysayers that say, why are you doing this way? It's your business. You do it how you want to do it. Even though there's 1,001 people out here that do it this way, maybe there are people out there that do need for you to do it the way that you're doing it. So I say, in all, stay true to yourself, stay focused, and do how you want to do, not what somebody else does. Because that'll be your biggest downfall in entrepreneurship. Starting any type of business, not even just a hair salon. Just stay focused on what you want, and write things down. Make goals for yourself when it comes to your business. Like my pastor would say, you got to have a vision. He preached about it today. You got to have a vision in order to make progress. So stay true to yourself, pray about it, and don't be afraid to ask for help and advice from other people that's in that field. Don't be afraid to get a no either, because that no doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
Right.
You're going to get no's. You may get 100 no's before you get that one yes. So you just got to stay positive and keep going.
Most definitely appreciate that. Couple more questions. Where do you see evolution in, say, the next 5 years? Do you see
Ooh.
expansion? Do you want to, or do you have or your own products, or where do you see it going?
Yes, in the next 5 years, I do have those listed. I do want to have my own shampoo line,
Okay.
own conditioner line. Um, I want to expand, but I still have to work on myself. Like I said, people, I'm not good with people. I've gotten comfortable with being in the shop by myself. You know, I create the vibe, I create the environment. But I do, within the next year or so, I do hope to have a bigger location where I can introduce some people in there to do lashes, eyebrows. I would like a massage therapist, a nail tech. Um, when it comes to other stylists, I'll be looking for stylists that come straight out of hair school, preferably that can learn my techniques. That way, I'm not stretched thin of trying to do so many people hair at one time. So when you come to my shop, you know what you're getting. It'll be just like me standing behind the chair that's doing it. So I do hope to grow and expand within the next 2 to 3 years. So yeah, that
Okay.
is on the list.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Well, definitely praying for that, that everything goes well with that and that you can get it done sooner than later.
I'm trying to.
Um, Real quick, talk about your website link, how to book an appointment, and things of that nature.
Okay, so it's Miss Leelee .as.me. When you go to the link, there's a few things that you just read, and it's basically telling you a little bit about myself, a little bit about what I offer. I open my book up, like I said, flexibility. So I open my booking site up on a month-to-month basis. Once you go up there, there's like bullet points of styles that I do. And once you click on those, it goes into depth. And just to give a quick description, like if you click on locks, it'll go in there, it'll say starting locks, it'll say lock retwist, lock and style, just gives you a list of different styles that you can choose from. It's convenient. Um, there is a deposit that's required only because, in this world you get people that book but don't want to show up.
For sure.
So you do have to have credit card information in order to book online. It's really, really easy. It's really step by step. Like it shouldn't be, it's not something that takes a genius to do because everything is just click here, click here, click here, click here. If you can operate Facebook, you can operate my booking site.
Okay. All right. Very user friendly. So
Very user friendly.
all right, most definitely. So everybody make sure you keep that in mind. One last question that I, like to ask everybody. Give me a Black business referral.
A Black business referral. I can give you a few.
That's fine.
I'm gonna shout out the first one that saved me today. Priscilla Designs. If she's watching, not sure. She made this shirt for me.
Okay.
Just like that. Amazing. Another Black owned business, I would say Keep It Braided. Ashley Roach. She's she's beside me. Right behind Andy's Pancake House, if you know where that is, off of Aaron House Street.
Yeah.
She does amazing. I don't do small braids. I get a lot of requests for them. So if y'all want the mini braids, go see her because she's doing with her eyes closed and she'll help you out quick.
Okay.
You said just one, huh? I gave you two.
No, that's fine. It's all good.
Let's see. We
You do
have
one more.
one more. I have to shout out Bump. And that is ran by Javon Davis.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Mhm.
He's doing a lot for the young boys in our community. So if you don't know who he is, go check him out. He's is the Bump program is what I thought at first was for just athletics, but now that I'm seeing it does a wide variety of things. So I would say go check him out, especially for those young men that need somebody to talk to.
For sure. And that's definitely needed in Elizabeth City. So
Yes, it is.
for sure. Well, definitely appreciate that. Ms. Leelee, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you for this
having me.
interview. Everybody that's watching, this does conclude another Being You Famous Brand Business Spotlight, of course, where we love to shine light on our fellow Black business owners and entrepreneurs. Of course, once again, I am your host, Darnell Brown, Mr. Famous Brand himself. Please make sure you do support the Famous Brand. Get your dip, get your merch, get your fragrance. Anybody that wants to access my online store in regards to the merch or the fragrance items, the link is in my bio on Facebook. Darnell, I'm Famous Brown. Instagram at SmoothD620. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube and the BlackTube channel, the Famous Brand, especially in regards to these business spotlights as we try to support Black business. Anybody that does want to receive an exclusive interview to promote their Black business, please send all your inquiries to the_famous_brand at yahoo.com for details and scheduling. But once again, get your dip, get your merch, get your fragrance. It's the Famous Brand. Of course, this is a Black and Unfiltered production, so please make sure you support the crew. You see the information scrolling at the bottom. Follow us on all social media platforms. Google us. We gonna pop the fuck up. Listen to us on your favorite place to listen to a podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to YouTube and the BlackTube channels for Black and Unfiltered. Of course, shout out to the crew. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Shout out to whoever this is. I'm sorry I can't see who you are, but thank you for the feedback. Much appreciated. But nevertheless, it's Black and Unfiltered. It's the Famous Brand. It's EvoLEEtion Natural Hair Studio. And we gone. We'll catch y'all next time.
Canadian County rags coming in. Niggas phony, all this cap ain't coming in. I done look at where we came from. I'm just trying to send my stack to London.